are listening to the Balancing Act podcast. Here's your hosts, Jamie Wonko and Joe Vitale.
Well, thankfully, a couple moments ago we weren't recording, but now we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yes,
welcome all to the Balancing Act podcast. I am here with Mr. Joseph Vitale. Hello, Joseph Vitale.
Hello, Jamie Wonko. How we doing?
Aces.
I mean, I feel the same. I'm just
feel
rocking and
great.
rolling, man.
Yeah.
I'm not Shagats. I'm good to go. I'm
I think it's an Italian curse word, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, if it is, sorry.
I don't know what I
YouTubes.
know. Whoops. It's like shungats, like mess. Yeah, I don't know. Whoops.
know.
Bleep, bobbity blue.
Yeah. So if you speak Italian and you just heard
I'm
that
sure
word,
that's like the New Jersey American Irish,
Yeah.
American Italian version of
of whatever it is.
from an Italian Irish American.
So many amalgamations just all mixed together, right?
So many.
Yes, so many. So how we doing, friend? What's been new on the home front these days?
Well, I'm booked and booted. I've got my broken foot, and we're trucking along, so to speak. And I'm trying really hard. I would classify myself as a not that good of a healer, and also I have a terrible "don't help me, I don't need you" quality. And also, so that's something that I work on a lot of asking for help or receiving the help. And also, I really don't like to ask for help. It's a flaw of mine. So I've enlisted my good friend Scoots Magoots, honk honk beep
I know.
beep.
And I've been calling you Scoots McBoots because you got the scooter and the boot. I mean,
It's an embarrassment.
So you can't picture it, and if I could get a video of it, I would put it in the podcast. But I have to tell you, so where my classroom is in the front of the building, if you go out my door and you go up to the right, there is a ramp. Okay, and that ramp, it's not like a super duper long, steep ramp, but it's like a slow grade downhill. So it is obvious that Jamie is coming down that ramp because and I have these windows. I call it the zoo because my classroom is like a zoo exhibit because there's
it
like
really is. It's a lot.
I have 7 windows. I have more windows than anyone. So she like floats by my room, like she's she's the Wicked Witch of the West, just flying on by. So today she had this big smile on her face as she like zipped right by my window, and it cracks me up every single time.
I can't say it's not fun. Also,
it's definitely fun. I've been on the scooter in school. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened too? My Fitbit sort of like knocked me into reality last week because I thought like, oh, I'm taking it easy, and oh, I know I have the boot, and oh, I'm trying to sit more than usual. And then it was like, you got 15,000 steps today. So, a lot of times there isn't any way to avoid. So I thought, any moment that I can alleviate the pressure and walk or not walk and use the scooter instead, I'm going to. Where I will not use the scooter is in the parking lot because it ends up like and one of our coworkers who parks near me in the next town over where our spots are, because we have assigned spots at our school, which I heart. I love knowing that I have a spot, but my spot is sort of, well, I don't mind honestly where my spot is. I really don't. But so we were walking in, and today I was like walking the scooter, and he said, aren't you supposed to be on it? And I was like, well, in an effort to try to keep my natural teeth for as long as I can, I just have this fear that and I'm just going to like fly over the handlebar. So yeah. But once I get to the sidewalk, I'm good and I'm coasting. So yeah. And I have cafeteria duty. So it certainly helps for that. And I have AM duty. So I'm moving, and we've talked about this before. Our school, no one is ever anywhere all day long. So I'm in constant motion. And so it's been helping. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll heal. And
I feel that way, but I also feel like where I am in the building, because I'm right in the front, like I never leave the front of the building. Like I'm always in that general area. And like even where my duty is later in the day, it isn't like that far. Like they have me doing
Yeah.
bathroom duty.
Yeah.
So I just like kind of, shuffle myself up there.
Yeah.
But I'm just constantly down by the office and seeing what's going on,
Yeah.
doing my thing.
No, yeah, I'm here, there, and everywhere. But I will say that I have been testing out different faculty rooms.
You have been, which I know there's
Different.
some people who
I
are in the
have, and I'm
different
kind of
faculty
like,
rooms.
who's that girl?
Yeah, I know there's some people that are in the different
Hmm.
faculty rooms that might even be
Yeah.
listeners. So I don't want to, I don't want you to divulge
Who's
your
that
information.
girl?
But why are we,
Right?
why are we in that mode where we're going to different faculty rooms? Because I am a creature of habit and go to the same place in the same seat each and every time.
I want to create like this, I'm an elusive character, even though I'm not. I'm like a wide open book, but I would like to, like, where is she? We don't know. Is she
Yeah.
here today? Will she be here tomorrow? We don't know. Honestly, when I first started at our new school, I was not super comfortable traveling around a lot, and I was learning the building. I was learning people. It was a lot. And this is year 4. This is the first year that I really feel like coming back. I'm comfortable with who people are, what they teach, where their classrooms are. And the first year I was dealing with a lot, like personally and emotionally. That was when my mom had first gotten sick. So when I look back, it's kind of like how I felt after my twins were born. When I look back to that time period, it's very foggy to me. Like the girls were a few months old when Hurricane Sandy occurred. And it was just this sort of fog because I was so tired and emotional. And so I wasn't seeing things, clearly. And that is how I felt my first year at school. I was really in a deep, dark hole, and then trying to pretend like I wasn't with people that I didn't know. And so I was like in one room for a bit, and then I now have some people that I really do like to go see, that are on my grade level. And so I like to check in with them. And then as far as lunch goes, I have the duty this year where it is the split. So I have duty, lunch duty. And so I'm not sure, once I feel a little bit better and I'm not scootering, maybe I'll, try somewhere there. There are 2 other faculty rooms I haven't even gotten to yet, but
I know.
for now, yeah.
Yeah. And I have a hot take for you. I have a hot take. Ready for our hot take segment?
Hot take.
I'm just simply going to call BS on all of that because I think it's just because you want to ride the scooter around the hallways. That's the only reason I think you're going.
I have to say, today
the only reason you're doing it.
I was using the ladies' room today, and our dance teacher, who is a delight, she plays music, which I 100% appreciate, enjoy, and love. And today she was playing some 70s, and dun, 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 dun. And I leave my scooter outside of the bathroom, and I could hear someone singing. And singing along to the music. The music is kind of piped into the bathroom, and it's really everywhere, right? You can hear it through the walls. And I hear like, I love to love you, baby. And I'm like, who is singing? And our very good friend, the man who shall remain unnamed, 8th grade science teacher, was riding the scooter round and round while singing to the music.
That's fantastic.
Amazing. And then he's
I
like,
also
you need no brakes on this thing. You need no brakes on that. And I was like, if anyone could soup it up and fix the brakes, it's him. But
he would.
Yeah,
he's like Mr. Mechanical. That's
of course.
fantastic.
And anyway, it was absolutely hysterical. But yeah, so there are quite a few people on my team that I like to visit, and they all, you gravitate towards the areas, also that you're closer to, and all of them stay on the other side of the building. So
Correct.
I do like to go, and visit and see what's up, and check in with everybody. Cause there's a lot of, I know they tell a lot of new teachers, avoid, the teacher's room, and it's a toxic place. And, I do think a lot of schools have more than one. So get a sampler going, right? And check out different environments, because even if those people don't teach the same grade level that you do, you may find, an environment that's interesting to you. And at the same time, you don't always have to go every day, but never going is difficult, because you really do need to hear what's happening. And, you kind of feel the vibe of the school that way.
I think there's also a lesson in, what you were talking about, right? You went to a new school after being in one for a very long time. I don't remember the exact number of years, but over 15.
20.
Then you're in this, yeah, 2000. And then you're in this new place, in this new building with, some things going on at home that, of course, you don't want to divulge to people that you don't know and just become like a blubbering, crying mass in front of people, which you would have every right to do.
Right.
But sometimes it takes time to like get comfortable, right? So if you're a new teacher or you're in a new building, sometimes it just takes a little bit of, you don't find your people. And I kind of go back to like when you go to college for the first time, right? And I've been seeing a lot of Mel Robbins stuff come out because she's been talking to, Mel Robbins, both that phenomenal book called Let Them. And she talks a lot about like when kids go to college, and there was a girl who was like crying on the floor of the bathroom, and she was upset and she hadn't found her people yet. And she was like, you are not alone in that, because everybody feels that way. And it's not that you're doing it right or wrong. That's just the pathway that you're on. And like, there's attachments and things that we need to change when we move from high school to college. So I kind of liken it to that, because you're like, everybody's like at college, like everyone's there for a particular reason, like or different majors or whatever, but like exploring things, learning different things, new groups of friends. Maybe you have a roommate for the first time. You've never had somebody. Maybe your roommate sucks. Maybe you get along with your roommate. Maybe you have friends from high school there and you gravitate towards them. But like sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for you to find your place and your niche and everything.
Yes.
Which exactly what has happened to you. And it happened to me too. Like it took time.
Yeah.
I was doing technology for the district. So like I was in one building I was in middle school for like half the day, and then I was going to other schools, and like everybody thought I was a mole and like trying to find out information. And I'm like, I'm just here to help. I'm just here to help people. I'm just narking out, right? Like, no, that's not my MO. I never has been. It's more important to me to help people. But like I fought through that too, where like I left the building where I had friends, and then you got to like go and you feel like a little bit of an island unto yourself,
Yes.
So yeah, it just
and
takes
I
a little bit of
know,
time.
I know that the idea of sometimes even, like if you're first starting out somewhere, wanting, how much do I really want to connect to people, or how much is it worth it, or,
There's some of
all
that
the
too.
things. But
Yeah.
it is nice to have, it's nice to be able to have people that, when we come back to school, there's always like that, like, there's always like, and it's like, I know you don't care about my summer. I know it's
Is
just
that a
polite.
is that a Cartman? Is that a Cartman?
No, it's just like,
what do you
so sometimes I just feel like more of like, hey, how are you? Like summer go well. And, instead of like,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's all right. But there were people, especially like in that unfolding of the first couple of weeks, where it is nice to hear. And there were people who would like, I didn't say to them like, how was your summer on the first day of school, because I didn't want it to just be like, good. I didn't ask them on purpose, because like I wanted to find a time to be able to sit or look at them and say, how was your trip? I know that you went here, here, here,
Exactly.
or, how is your wife feeling, or how, those like specific things, rather than just like, and make it like the, I guess, that surface sort of thing. And it's just too much. It's so exhausting, because you're just coming out of hibernation, and, and everyone is so nervous because it's new schedules, it's new kids, it's a lot of people teaching new things in new spaces. So we just, are you okay? Doing okay? Yeah, good. Okay, great. And then you, move on from there. But
I've been struggling with the new schedule, and not from like, okay, it's just different,
is
and
it
it is what
for
it
when
is.
to go to the bathroom?
Yes. No, that really don't have an issue with.
That's a true
although
serious.
apparently, if you watch if you watch NFL or golf on TV, apparently, every other commercial is you have trouble urinating. Here's something. Here's
Well,
Flomax.
sure, of course.
I mean, it's a whole thing
for the men.
Yeah, for the men, it's a whole.
No,
thing.
but I'm not. I was like half kidding, but I'm serious.
Oh yeah,
Because
but
going to the bathroom in our job is such a big deal. When a male, and it was not like for, Flomax, who has my schedule this year, that my schedule from the last couple of years, he said, well, when did you go to the bathroom? And it was,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a serious question. And my answer was, I do find when I know someone is near to me that has in-class support and has two adults, and I'll never just ask the special ed teacher. Whoever answers the phone is the person that I ask. But
Same.
I have to know that. I can't, and then you start to get into like more of a consistent routine. But if you're teaching so many classes in a row, that does become a serious issue. And we do have a generous boss who has even said, like, look, call the office. Like, we will find someone to come and to help you.
Yeah.
But what? So
Luckily, I have a co-teacher with me. Shout out, Mr. Harry.
yes,
So he's with me periods 2 and 3. So if I really need to hop out, I do that.
right.
But in the afternoon, if I need to, I could always, again, I don't even have to call the office. I could just literally peek my head out,
Yeah.
go to one of the
Hey.
secretaries, like, hey, could someone come over, just watch for a second? And
Yeah.
there's a men's room right across the hall. So I don't have to go
Right.
gallivanting around.
So tell me, so what is your struggle? Yeah, what is your
So
struggle?
my struggle is, it's funny because I kind of mentioned it to my wife and to my son, and they were like, "No, it's too hard for you. That must be so difficult." And they were mocking me, and I was like, shut your face.
So did they give
but
you
anyway,
that must be awful for you?
that must be awful for you.
That must be awful
Yes.
for you.
Oh my God, that must have been awful for you. So I go periods 2, 3, 4, 5 straight through, right? So I go 2, 3, 4, 5 straight through. Lunch break right in the middle. But when you are
That was my schedule.
Yeah, when you are on stage for 4 periods in a row, like I get to period 6 and I'm like, it's my professional period every day. And I'm lucky to have, 6th period off, fine. But I am mashed potatoes at that point because I'm a high energy person. You're with middle school kids, so like it's got to be high energy, moving around the room, doing stations, going all over. Like I'm a mile a minute. Okay. And that's a good thing because it keeps the kids engaged. We're doing different activities or we're floating around the room and we're having different discussions and I'm spinning a wheel and we're doing different things to like keep the kids engaged and involved, which not every lesson is a dog and pony show, but it's the beginning of the year. So I'm like, trying to keep every minute like really rolling along. But I've found difficulty. Like I got to figure out a way to like plan it during the week where there's like a day where the onus is on them, which I do with my classes, like have them, learn something that they're going to teach the class or have like independent assignments that they're going to work on because that pace is frenetic and I don't know if I can keep it.
Yeah. No.
So, and you're the same way as I am. You have the same jovial attitude with your students. Like you don't do you're a trier in regards to the classroom. Maybe not with your ice cream flavors, but definitely in the classroom.
Yes.
But and again, it's not that I'm struggling with it. It's just something that I need to kind of get used to, but also find a better way to balance. Hello.
Yeah.
Which shout out to my boss, pick the word for the year. What's the word for the year? Balance.
I mean, number one, who stands by and lives by picking a word for the year? The Balancing Act podcast.
Yes, they
and
do.
Who, also uses us as a guiding word in her building. That's right. So shout out Balance, Balance Pod, Pod Balance, me, you.
I mean, I wish that were the case, but I'm sure it's not.
Well,
and
I can pretend whatever I want.
I did go up to her and I was like, hey, word Balance. Is like, that's good. It's like, I know a guy does a podcast. Pretty good. Actually, you should check it out. And she was like, yeah. And she's like, it was like first day of school. She was like running around. It's like, yeah, that went over her head. She didn't get it.
No.
But, yeah. She was probably like, I don't want to listen to you during school. I don't want to listen to you during school. Why do I want to listen to you after school?
Yes. Well,
probably that.
You're a delight.
I am a delight. And if you are listening, boss, I'm just messing around. You know that. So yeah, I mean, so far, like there's some adjustment periods that I'm going through, with the new schedule. I have a lot of.
Oh, I have a suggestion for you.
Sure. I'll take it.
If you want one, just as someone who had that schedule.
I would love to. Sure.
So there were days after, all of those classes in a row. There were certainly days where I would say, especially the days like you just described, where you're really like going and going and going and you don't have, even a couple of minutes of just quiet time or where they're busy doing something without you. I like to take the prep at the end of the day. And there were some days where I said, like, Jamie, it's too bad for you that you feel tired. Like, you have to plow through. You have to get this done.
Yeah.
And there were several where if I had to do something, I would say, okay, you know what? You're not going to get it done in a timely fashion right now because you're so tired. And I would make sure that I did it later on in the evening once I was, and I would use that hour of time, like, just for like my own zone out, free space, free time. And without
Yeah.
any judgment or harshness to myself, it was like, this is all you have right now. And a lot of times, like, if you're not in the right headspace to complete a task, like, you might be twiddling your thumbs for 45 minutes when really it should only take you 10. So if you're that tired, then, reassess, reevaluate, and say, like, you know what, today I'm going to go for a walk. Today I'm going to go visit someone, and I'm just going to see who else, in my grade level is also free that just wants to chat and hang out, play on your phone, whatever it might be, where you can decompress a little bit. But I found that very helpful.
I remember you the end of last year when you were doing the stations projects with the other history teachers, which is something you guys do where they do, not stations, creations.
Mega
project, where like you're now combining with other classes where they get opportunities to work with like their friends or whatever else. And like, that's a lot. It's video filming. It's stuff with cardboard. It's clay. It's building all that stuff. And it's a lot of like, okay, are we done now? Are we done with this now? And then it was like, oh, we have to be absent. And this is like, I remember you were like, ugh. But like, I guess it's managing that. I wouldn't say it's a tired thing, like, but it's an energy level thing. It's like I come down and I'm just like, okay.
Well, you may not want to nap, but you may not want to like write lesson plans for the next week or plan out. It's a different type of exhaustion, but it's still an exhaustion.
It feels like to me, like when I was training for races and like, going on longer runs on the weekends, like when you're done on a Sunday with a longer run, it's like, okay, I got to kind of shut it down, move a little bit slower. You get physically tired. Like that's how I felt. So again, it's new and I'm going to get used to it. And it's something that I'll be like, oh, why was I even worried about that, 2 months ago, but it's just something I have to manage and get used to.
Yeah.
Also with my own schedule, I've tried to do a better job, like not over cramming my schedule and making sure that I have like specific downtime after, like, I know which days are busy for me and I'm fine with that. And I don't plan things on those other days unless they are things that I want to do that are going to bring me joy. Like, if my son I said to him, like, hey, like there is an opportunity while it's still light out after work. Like we could still like, go sneak out and play 9 holes. He's not working right now, play a little golf after school. And, we're going to try and do that during the week, which is great. Because that's also another way for me to like shut the brain off. He's the vibes guy. Shout out to my son because he likes to like bring his like Bluetooth speaker and play all of his music and, just relax too. I think he kind of gets it. Like it's supposed to be something that's relaxing. And that's also been a big, that was a big joy for me this summer too, because we spent a lot of time together on the golf course and he's not a big talker, but he is when he's out there. Like we'll chat about stuff and we'll like kind of ask him about like, well, what do you think about college? Or what did you, and I get more than one word answers. It's amazing. So it's good to spend that time with him and I don't want to lose that either. It's been a good experience and I want to do that because it brings me happiness. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I may be beating him right now, but it ain't going to be forever because like Father Time is undefeated and he's getting much better and he's already hitting it further than I am. I guess that's my fault because of all those baseball hitting lessons we got him back in the day. But yeah, I think he kind of gets the vibes of the whole thing. And he was funny. One of the things we were talking about, we're driving back from one of the courses and he's like, you know what? I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to have an apartment and I'm going to join a country club. And he's like, in my apartment, I'm going to have a mattress and a folding chair and a TV. And I'm like, like, you got to have like,
it's like, are you also a murderer on the weekends?
I was like, I was like, are you the guy from American Psycho or something? And he's like,
he had a really nice apartment, the guy in American Psycho.
Yeah, he did. I was like, bro, you got to have like some furniture or whatever. Like, what are you going to do with the girl? He's like, just go to her house. I was like, goddamn you. That's actually a smart answer. And
I have to tell you,
that's kind of his MO. That's his thing.
Yeah.
He's like,
and he knows it's funny.
We call him Go with the Flow Joe because he like nothing. He's like, yeah, I'll get to it. He's fine. I'll get to it. Yeah, it's fine. And we're like, are you our child? Because like, if you know his parents, we are the furthest thing from that, except for some laissez-faire options. There
You know
are
what is
some
on
things
his?
that
I feel like on his to-do list is like number one, not overexcite myself.
yeah, I don't think he knows how to
I
do
think
that.
he lives to no, I mean, I really think that it's a choice that he's making to not, and just sort of be even keel. And he's
Yeah,
terrific.
I love it. He is.
So I'm cracking up because, when we first got married, it's very hard to fill a house with furniture. And, as anybody knows when they're first sort of setting up, and we didn't live together before we got married. So, we didn't have, oh, I'll bring this from mine and so Jason had some furniture and things like that. And so when we moved into our home after our apartment, it was like, no, we're gonna get like real grown-up furniture.
Ooh.
And so I actually have some furniture that my parents had given us, and it's so funny because it's 20. Well, we've lived here for 17 years and we still have it. So we got a new bed and frame and the whole thing, but we still use like my parents' one of their bedroom sets for like our dressers and things like that. And I remember they only had like our bedroom is big enough to fit 2 nightstands. Whereas like theirs, they only had 1 nightstand. So we tried to find like another matching nightstand. And I remember saying like, oh, it's all right. Like I'll find something that, we'll make it work. And my dad, like, and it's something we still quote, like he'll say like, well, I guess matching furniture is not important to some people.
I mean, it's not a folding chair.
It's not a folding chair, but that like deserves
you
that.
serial
Well,
killer.
I guess a mattress on the floor is good for some
people. Yeah, that's great.
That's the same thing with ironing. Your generation has collectively agreed that it is okay
to be wrinkled,
to not iron, and you're all in on it together. Yeah. So like to not, well, but and the stories of the ironing. I'm sure. I mean, it really, when you look back at videos and pictures and things of like the 60s and 70s and everyone really 50s, 60s, everybody really does look really so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that's like something that your students have even, my students will pick out. We were watching a video last year, like the children's march, and these kids are all going to march and they know they're going to get like sprayed with hoses and they're all like, the kids are like, why are they so fancy? Why do they look like they're going to church? I'm like, that's how everybody looked and dressed and whatever. But
well,
so that's
the idea of you putting on your Sunday best, right? We watched Selma every year in class. I do a large unit around the civil rights, and we watch it. We analyze it and we look at it. And the great part about that film is that at the end they kind of intersplice it with like actual footage from the march from Selma to Montgomery that wound up being, at the end of the film. But even on like Bloody Sunday, when they knew things were going to go awry, it was briefcase, it was suitcase, it was dressed in a suit, dressed in a Sunday dress. Dressed in your Sunday best to, travel and walk around, where that kind of gets lost a little bit.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, I guess these sort of rules but I can tell from, just from knowing you guys that there's no way that Joey's going to have a mattress on the floor. But, when you think about your life and like the versions of time of like what was acceptable during college as a decoration to maybe your first apartment to then, your home, it changes over time. So that kind of actually makes me bring up what I wanted to ask you about. Did you see the viral video of the mom who was complaining about her child's class? Well, she was crying about her child's classroom because it wasn't pretty enough.
I don't. Yeah, I do remember it. I think I might have done like oh brother and just rolled my eyes and kind of swiped past it because we've talked about this, right? Like, I'm not buying it. I'm not. If like, granted, I teach middle school, but like, I'm not buying like carpets and beanbag chairs and things like that for a
Well, I mean,
variety of.
soft surfaces are so difficult, right? For so many reasons, especially for me, it's always like, and the bugs. If you've had
Yeah,
lice once or twice or thrice, as the Wonkos have,
yeah,
thank you, Brandon preschool, you don't play with certain with certain things like that. But
yeah.
yes, so this idea of is real it really is, what does a classroom look like? And so there is this idea of like, here's a government funded classroom and here's the teacher paid for it themselves classroom. But
Yeah.
I am amazed at the amount of fundraisers or the Amazon like clear the list efforts that are happening to help teachers, and how many people are being able to sort of buy and purchase things for their classrooms. But then again, how much how much money we spend on our own. But the idea of this aesthetically pleasing, or what would be considered aesthetically pleasing classroom, I can't imagine, if you were a new teacher, how stressful that must be.
Oh yeah.
I
I
mean,
also
we're older curmudgeons who are like, "Oh, this is how it is, kids." And I still, and I do buy things, but
Yeah, and
um,
you decorate, you do different themes for every month, and you have your, I know you highlighted your tree on social media with
I
the Christmas tree
do,
that's like in her room. It's like, oh,
I
this has to
do,
stay in here, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to decorate it every month, so it's going to have Halloween trees on it, and
right.
the things you do for Diwali and
But it's not. I
different
mean, mine is
holidays.
a lot of paper and glue, and kids making them, which
Yeah,
translates to free, or things I can get in the school. And I do, here or there buy, decorations. But I mean, this idea that you can't, educate fully if it doesn't look perfect. And
hmm
that is really, we just have, and I know we have said this before, but really to drive it home to our listeners and our younger listeners and the NJAEA and the groups that are, college students who are hoping to become teachers. And I do know that this is all rooted in social media.
I agree.
And it reminds me of when I was getting married. Now, you weren't a bride, but you were a groom who had a bride, right? So, and you got married even, before we did. So you might remember when we were getting married, they had magazines. And
Yes.
you could go to the store and get the magazine, or you got engaged and people would give you the magazine, and you would look through the magazines, catalogs, inspiration, and then you would, look for things, purchase things. We didn't, in that time period, there was very little making things. Maybe if you had a crafty mom or auntie and you would glue things or order a ribbon and tie it on and things like that. There
Yeah, like
wasn't
we
this
did. What did we do? We did like the bubbles at the
bubble. Yes. At
the
the
thing.
church.
I think it was bubbles. And it had like a little thing tied around it, or I think there was like I don't even remember. Oh my God, I don't remember what our wedding favor was. Why do I not remember? I don't remember it. It's gonna pop into my head after recording this. I know it is.
You know what
Um,
mine was?
what was it?
It was you know
A jar
me.
full of sand that you could pour on yourself? No, that must have been awful.
No.
That must have been awful for you.
It was a so you could go to countless events, right? And people leave the things on the table. So we gave scratch off lottery tickets with
Love
and
it.
it had like a little penny in the envelope. It said lucky and love. And then at the end of the night when everyone was leaving, they got milk and cookies, like as like a little, now since
Adorable.
then, right? And it was like milk and cookies, an
Oh
old
yeah.
fashioned
Since
treat.
then, it's like
Now it's like,
you gotta have a signature.
what?
You gotta have a signature drink. You gotta have the bachelorette parties. Oh my God. I can't
It's
even.
I can't wrap my brain around. Now we have kids who are, let's say potentially, in the marriage age range in the next 15 years, right? I can't imagine this top. I don't know if it's a top that I don't know. It's like, oh, everyone please wear the same color. Oh, you have,
Yeah.
and it really is pretty to look at, but I'm just curious. And it's not just, obviously it's, weddings, and then it can also be makeup tutorials, and then it can, all the getting ready with me's, and now of course we see it in our classrooms. And we're just here to say you can have like a fantastic party, a fantastic dorm room, Woo, because the dorm rooms, woof. The dorm room makeovers that occur, the thousands of dollars, right? If like it has to match and has to be the same, and then we have to cover the stool that we get up onto our giant high bed on, and all of these things are not necessary and really do come back to this idea that you have to compare yourself or, to other people. And that is really such an unhealthy practice. So I would say, especially for anybody who is in their first year teaching, first few years of teaching or teaching in a new space, don't feel like you need to do any of those things. I mean, Joe and I could both think back to our, collective wedding experiences and think like, what a great day. And we didn't cricket like 4,000 things to hand out to everybody. It's like, I can't wrap my head around it. I think that
Yeah.
is a great divide for sure. But
I did text my wife and say,
Oh.
don't be mad at me. But what was our wedding favor? Chocolates. We did have chocolates. I do remember.
See, I love an edible favor.
There you
I
go,
mean,
it was edible
I'm a big fan. I have a cousin, my cousin Danielle. And I'll never forget. And every once in a while, I'll think of this. And actually, we have the Nothing Bundt Cakes that opened here in town, which I haven't gone to yet. But I'll never
Same.
forget her wedding favor was the Sunday paper and a bundt cake, like a mini bundt cake.
That's
So like
cool.
you left the wedding with, and it was so delicious. And I remember like talking to my sister on the phone the next day, like recapping the wedding while we were both eating our bundt cakes and like, this bundt cake was so good. So I feel like edible favor is a yes,
Yeah.
but yeah, all that pressure is tied into so many things. It's
What I've heard about you is you like big bunts and you cannot lie.
Although
I'm a 12-year-old.
Bunt. I always think of the woman from My Big Fat Greek Wedding when she's like, it's a bunt. And they're like, what? Remember that part? And then she puts
do
the
remember
flower
that
in the
part.
middle of the bunt. I am all aflutter with all the new stores that we're getting in our town.
Yes.
And so, just listeners, get on board because we're going to be talking about all the new
We
hot
are.
spots.
She's super excited.
And one
but
of
yeah,
my
I think-
students, one of my students yesterday told me that we're getting like a new French patisserie or something like that. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
Paris Baguette. It's like a bread place. Yeah, they're apparently it's very good. Never been, but
Excuse
there's
me?
another
Did
one
you
of those.
just say it's just a bread place?
No, like you know what I mean. It's like a chain bread place.
Pish posh.
I'm still gonna go. I have heard it's very good. But yeah, there's
I'm
a
sorry.
whole.
So yeah, so exciting. It's exciting times.
Yeah, I think it's good to remember a couple things like what we were talking about, right?
Yes.
With your classroom, the kids are going to remember how you made them feel.
Correct.
I'm not trying to sound hokey or corny, but like that's what they're going to remember.
Yes.
Okay. And you will not be everyone's favorite flavor of ice cream, to steal a line from you. Actually said it in my class today. Like, I'm not going to be everyone's favorite. Okay. I get it. And some of you won't be mine. And I don't mean that rudely. I just mean that like, hey, we're not going to jive, but we still have to make sure that we do. And it's okay. We still have to make sure that we are achieving our daily objectives. Okay.
Right.
Meaning like learning, participating, taking part in the discussion. I spend a lot of time. I'm more about setting norms in class so kids understand how to behave. Kids understand what are my expectations when we do stations, when we're doing group work, when they're allowed to listen to music. Like I want them to know what those expectations are, so they are aware and a part of that discussion. Like part of the stations we did this week was what are the most helpful students are blank, and they all put like have a good personality, or like they're positive, or they they help me with my work. I'm like, we can all be those things. We can all like do all of those things. And as we did the different activities, what I wanted them to understand was like everybody is, you have similarities with every single person in this room. Maybe not in every single category, but you have a goal of getting an honors. You said, oh, I want to get an honors English next year. There are 5 other people who also have that goal.
Yes.
So you are rowing on the river in the same boat in the same direction. But even if you're not, you're still on the river and you're still moving along, but you're just going maybe to a different destination in the end.
But Mr. Vitale, I don't like water.
Yeah, okay. I don't like water. 6'7". Okay. Oh my goodness. My period 5 class is getting the cringiest version of me because I keep using all the brain rot speak in class. And so they all like look at me and I'm like, well, if I keep saying it, maybe you guys will stop saying it.
Yes.
Because even like a lot of them are like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous, but like they all keep saying it.
You know
But yeah,
how I like to whisper talk?
yeah.
So I like to whisper talk. I like to match the energy of the kid. Like, so if they're like really angry, and then I'll be like, yeah, we hate everything. Or if, or I'll say like, what? And I like to whisper talk to them. So I had someone that I was whispering to, and then they whispered back to me, but we have to have a lesson in how you whisper. Because their whisper was like, right, So
Oh my God.
I was whispering
So
to him. Oh man, it was
like,
so great
and I
to
know
do
we
that
keep going
lesson.
like back and forth and like kind of on tangents here, right? But like one thing I want everybody to realize out there, like, yeah, it's really cool that everybody else all the new teachers are doing outfit of the day and standing in front of the mirror and pirouetting and kicking their legs up. That's awesome. But you know what? That's not for certain people. If you've been following us on social media, you see that there's some dancing. You can tell that I am the most uncomfortable human on earth. But you know why I do it? Because we're trying to promote our little show here.
That's
And
right. And
also,
I think it gives you like
and
good
also because,
energy.
yeah, and Jamie makes me. So that's why I do it.
You
But
like
like
it.
there comes a point where it's like everyone's got to stay in their lane, right? You know what? I mean, I realize this is going to be a ridiculous segue, but I'm looking at you, Subway. Why do you got baked potatoes on your menu? Make a sandwich. If it's not up to you, you just made a face there. If it's
I
not, why is
did.
Subway
Why?
make?
I didn't even know that.
And I love a baked potato, but like, come on, Subway, what are you doing? But like, stay in your lane. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to.
Correct.
And the environment that you create for students, how you make them feel, when
Paramount.
you
Most important.
yeah, just the little things that the little things that we do when I see a kid today wearing a Cooperstown baseball shirt, and they have like this big little league baseball tournament that like only kids of a certain, I think you have to be like 12 or 13 to play in it, and after that you can't, and before that you can't. So like it's a big deal, and the kids, they qualify for Cooperstown, they go up there, they stay all weekend, they play in tournaments, there's playoffs, there's like game after game after game after game after game. And I had a conversation with, oh, I see you. Did you go to Cooperstown this summer? Yeah. Oh, how'd you do? Yeah, we made second round of playoffs. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But like, do you think you want to play in high school? You got to keep playing travel ball. Like, just have a conversation.
Yes.
That's going to go a lot longer way than like, I have matching pillows. Shigats. Okay. Nobody cares about your Bring it full circle. Nobody cares about your matching pillows. No one's going to remember, oh my God, they have matching pillows in that classroom.
Right. Absolutely.
They're going to remember, oh my God, they have matching pillows and they gave me lice. That's what they're going to remember.
Oh, I sure do.
Okay. Who are you going to call? Lice lifters.
Oh, lice lifters. I did.
Lice
I know.
lifters. That's what it was. Yeah, that's an oldie goodie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Vitale.
I want to make one more comment.
Of course.
This is how we break the cycle of the fact that we have to do all the things.
100%.
So when you think you have to do all the things,
you don't.
You don't. You
Correct.
don't have to do all the things. What you have to do is be there for your students. What you have to do is, have engaging lessons. What you have to do is meet their needs, hold them accountable. Okay. Not just accountability, but also, the idea of responsibility that we're teaching our kids. Those are the things that they're going to remember you for. They're going to remember you for the fact that like you taught them how to use a planner, and that's a skill that they still use. They're not going, they're not. And it might be cool that like, oh, she hung up my artwork or all this other stuff. Like, that's great. And if you love doing those things, do them.
I do.
But if it's not within your DNA to do them,
then don't. Correct.
So I'll get off my soapbox now.
And agree.
And
I'll see you on the dance floor.
I'll see you on the dance floor where I'll be doing my dance moves. God, why am I doing this?
Your mouth says no, but your face says yes.
Listen, I have told my students, you're going to see it. We're going to come up in your algorithm. I said, be nice to me on the internet. Okay. I realize that I'm shimmying and I'm doing things that maybe that a grown 49-year-old shouldn't do, but damn it, for the algorithm.
Who says it? Who says you shouldn't do it?
Yeah, I know. I should totally do those things. My
totally.
daughter's going to see it and be like,
I know.
She's-
But I
but
mean, that's
as lo-
but
But as long as you're in it, she'll like it because she likes you better than me. Well, as always, friend, I know I cut you off before. As always, friend, I appreciate you and your perspective and this journey that we are on. And I know we've said it before, we got things coming. And we hope that you guys are going to stick with this because we got some really cool announcements that we're going to make hopefully very soon. We're just waiting on things to pan themselves out. And we'll be back with you next time on the Balancing Act podcast.
I appreciate you, Mr. Vitale, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Look for the Balancing Act podcast every week on your favorite podcast platform. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Thank you for being a part of our audience. We appreciate you.